Hey guys, so welcome to another pick a card. I'm Abby, your psychic strategist, and today we're going to do the question of how do they feel about me right now. So this can be anybody, just so you know, to make this easier, I'm going to say him if it's to do with masculine energy and her if it's to do with feminine energy, and you just work out who you are within that space. My intention really is that I feel this is more of a romantic reading. However, if you are coming for another reason, I'm guessing it will still answer something for you, but just be mindful that's sort of the intention with this one. But obviously ultimately it could be any relationship, but it kind of feels to me like this is going to be romantic relationships or connections. We have 3 piles. So basically just tune in now to see which pile you feel is relevant to this person. Probably the best way to do this is imagine the person that you want to know about how they're feeling about you, and then see which stone you're drawn to. These stones are from my shamanic meze, so I just friggin' love them. And we're going to channel with it in the beginning as well to get a channeled message from your person through the stone. So this is pile 1. This is pile 2. And then this one is pile 3. Just the last thing to say with this is I'm going to make sure that whatever we tap into is not going to be in any way something that unsettles you or the other person, because one thing I'm really aware of when you're psychic is obviously we can tune into anyone and anything, but it's also like a respecting of boundaries even within that connection. So my intention is that we're going to make sure that we are respectful and honouring of your boundaries and their boundaries, because I feel this is really important. And yeah, we're going to go with the flow with that from that kind of view. Also, I'm going to look at 2 levels to do with how they're feeling about you, because as a psychic I always know there's the superficial level, so it's the level on the outside that you're probably most aware of, and let's say the human level, and then we're going to go on to the deeper level of how they feel about you, which is more like the soul level, so like the things that might not be so apparent in this physical reality, and then we'll blend it all together. Cool, so let's go on to pile number 1. Okay, so for everybody that chose pile number 1, let's see, how is this person feeling about you right now? Okay, right now this person is doing a lot of processing to do with you and to do with your connection. And they're actually doing this on 3 levels of their being, like unconsciously, subconsciously, and very consciously. So one thing I can tell you is they are feeling the need to really try and understand this connection and understand you more. And in some ways they're being quite practical and logical and linear to do with this. So I don't really feel like this is like somebody that is feeling very chaotic towards you, but I do feel like it's somebody that is curious about you and about the connection, and like they're wanting to know more. So they are feeling like they don't really understand what's going on between you both. And they don't really understand how they feel about you, but they're now really wanting to kind of, I'm getting the words, look at this head on. So I feel like for some of the people in this pile, your person has been trying to avoid their feelings for you, basically. But it's got to the point where the universe has in some way put some pressure on them. And for some of them, it is external situations that they've been through recently. And for others, it's just sort of more like a very deep internal soul like pull to have to face up to how they're feeling about you. And I'm really getting as well, my guides are just coming straight in and saying that how they're feeling about you is something to do with how they felt about their primary caregiver, who was the most feminine energy. And it's not that they feel the same way about you as they did that primary caregiver, but that it's in some way the connection. And so what I'm really feeling is that this person is more the masculine energy and you are more of the feminine energy. Okay, so take that however it resonates. And that on some level, and obviously for some of them this is going to be totally unconscious, but obviously for some of them who are, let's say, more consciously aware and working on themselves, it's going to be very conscious. They're understanding that there is a link between not just you and their mum, but every romantic interaction they've had and related to their mum or the most feminine energy that was their caregiver, whoever that might have been, because it'll be different for all of you. And I'm just getting that they're ready now. They're ready to look at this, they're ready to integrate this, and that actually a lot of this is also the pile that is consciously working with their childhood stuff. So how they feel about you on a very deep level, so that deep soul level, is that you are almost helping them resolve things from their childhood to do with connection, to do with love, to do with acceptance. And I'm getting this specific word, reassurance. They're really looking at working with that on a deep soul level, and that's why there's this kind of like pattern playing out that is more than just you, but all of the other women that they have been with, or let's say, and also their primary caregiver that was female. It's interesting, right? The content of this feels heavy, but I kind of don't feel like they feel heavy about it. I just feel like they just really want to resolve this within them, and for some reason how they feel about you is really driving them to do this, because you have opened them up in a way that they've never really been opened up to before, and the universe has like matched them on this. So like however much you've opened them up, the universe has then basically opened them up to the same amount. So it's been quite a full-on awakening, to be honest, but on a deep level to do with how they really feel about themselves and connection and support and feminine energy. So I'm not going to go any more channeling. That's what we're getting there, is just the brief. But now let's just pull some cards on this. So how is this person feeling about you right now? I'm getting as well that some people here, they are on a superficial level, I think it might also look like they're not really being open to you in some way. But you know what? On the deeper level, they really are being open to you. It's just that if you could see their human self as trying to process what's going on with them, their soul self. And like I say, their soul self is really working with a lot deeper issues from childhood, primary caregivers, feminine energy, stuff like that. So they're really working with that on a deeper level. And on a superficial level, you might even feel like they are ignoring you, blocking you, frustrating you, annoying you. It could be any of these things, because it's different for all of you depending on where you are and what's going on. But you know what, that's just like a very superficial thing, because they're actually just really trying to work this through and process this. And I'm getting the word like compassion is really important here. So for however you are also feeling to do with this person, my guides are saying that it's really important if you can bring in that kind of like compassion and empathy, but kind of in a really mature way. And it's making me think of the highest potential of the Cancer archetype, and I'll leave a link for that video, because it's you're also getting stimulated to really be aware of your boundaries and how your boundaries work, not just with yourself but with this person, and also for you how your boundaries work with the most prominent primary caregiver from your past. But also for some of you, and this is really random, but for some of you this is also about your boundaries to do with things at work. Which is interesting. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to take the one that flew out. The Emperor. Okay. So you see, this is what I mean as well. They are, you know, the Emperor is very like logical, like I said. Like this person is logically trying to work out how they feel about you and how they feel about the connection. The Emperor is also just like a mature masculine energy. And I think this is why they're starting to become aware of these deeper connections and these deeper dynamics. And you know what the thing is? They're just not taking things to do with you and just other people in generally so personally anymore, and that's really allowing them to start expanding and growing. I feel like as well, some of you might feel like this person is really withdrawing from you in some way, and that could either be physical or it could just be very energetic. But what my guides are actually saying is, if you are somebody that feels like this, all it is they're actually very much changing their energy field to do with connection and to do with you, and therefore how they feel about you. Now, this might feel to you like a withdrawal or a pulling away, but actually, if you could really feel into it, all it is they're just changing from a more immature connection of feelings for you to a more mature connection of feelings for you. But that shift, because it could feel quite different for you, or you might suddenly kind of be feeling differently to do with this person, or you're worried about how this person is feeling about you or something, because you're sensitive and you felt this shift within them some way. Whether you're in contact with them or not, you can feel this kind of shift, and because it's different to what you've experienced with them before, I feel like some of you might feel like that is them pulling away, like the change is actually something that is not beneficial, or it doesn't feel good in some way. But my guides are here to say that this change is actually a really positive thing, because they're becoming more mature about how they feel about you. And that's on the soul level, remember. So superficially, on the human level, they may still be doing some things, or you might be feeling some things from them which feel immature. But this is also where I think you have to have trust in your masculine and trust in the masculine, and that comes across many different areas in life, like your own money, like your own career, like your own job, like all of these kind of things, like how you take responsibility, how you are with your own internal authority. If you can start trusting all of those things more, and in turn trusting this masculine energy, this person more, and trust that they know what they're doing and they're working on the process. And it very much also is about you being able to, I think it's really important that you feel into the deeper level of this person and how they're feeling about you. And I think it's really, it's be useful for you to, if you get any sort of feelings yourself that don't feel positive to do with this person or the connection, just almost like relax, stop, do whatever you do to just calm yourself down. And then I think you need to feel into them again and really look to feel deeper, like the deeper level. Because once you get past that superficial, supposedly immature kind of like cloud around them, I think you'll be able to feel what I can feel that they're feeling towards you. And that really is this much more mature masculine energy that's coming through. But just be mindful as well, they're on a journey with this, as you are too. And I do really feel as well, like I said before, there's something about as well your boundaries to do with work and stuff like that. The more that you can work with this masculine energy in your own life, which is very much, like I say, about your own authority, your own autonomy, your own responsibility, things like that, and get a healthy balance, the more you will feel this within the other person and how they feel towards you. Okay, so then we've got the Death card in reverse. Let's get another one for that. I think this is just really saying as well, this thing about this is a process for them. And I think you just need to be really mindful that some of these things that I'm saying about them being mature, that is on that deeper level within them. I think on the surface, it does probably feel a lot more like they have more of a immature response or feelings towards you. But I think this is, once again, like they're just in this process of transforming. They're in this process of transforming to go from the immature masculine to the mature masculine. And you know what? I think this is really intimidating for them. I think because it's bringing up much deeper things, like I say, to do with their childhood and things with their primary caregiver, etc., etc. This is deep, basically. How they feel about you it's really deep, and it's a very deep soul connection. But because of that, it's really triggering some things up. And I'm also getting that for a lot of you, it won't be for all of you, but a big percentage of you, this is your first and their first real spiritual connection with somebody that they also have romantic feelings for. So this is really like, it's almost like it's going to have triggered so many things within both of you, positive, like things that feel good and things that don't feel good, because it is almost like this first awakening of a real spiritual romantic connection that goes beyond this lifetime, other lifetimes, and all of this kind of thing. So I think, and as well, the strength, this is this thing I was saying to you before as well about, I think it's really important you've got compassion for this person and where they're at and how they're feeling about you, and have compassion with yourself so that you don't react to surface level stuff, and that you can also have the strength to go deeper and feel into the deeper level of how they're really feeling as a soul. But then this is the other thing my guides are saying is really important, is that you also, when you start feeling into the deeper levels of how somebody's feeling about you, when you can feel that there's a lot more love there and there's a lot more connection and stuff like that, you still also have to be mindful that that is on a 5D level currently, because until they transcend that information into their 3rd being, so their human self, they won't necessarily be able to show you that reflection in this earthly physical reality. And the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to get trapped into that 5-dimensional space of feeling so much love and stuff like that for somebody, but it's in a reality that isn't quite in this 3D reality yet. Because sometimes I can see and I can feel people getting stuck in that 5D space, and to be honest, there is nothing wrong with that, because it is just a different experience. But I suppose just be mindful that until things become very 3D, this is where you got to be practical, right? So if I wasn't into spirituality at all, I'd just be like, look, what you see is what you get, and you have to make your informed decisions from what you see and what you get. So basically, what somebody says means nothing, but what they do means everything. There's also kind of like that practical level that I also feel is important for you to bring into this situation. So it's quite big, right? Because so far we've got all these major arcanas, and it's in a massive transition process. I almost feel like how they're feeling about you right now is this is the beginning of this mature feelings coming through. So I suppose what I'm saying is be mindful how they feel about you as a human being right now will not necessarily match this maturity yet. But it is also for you to, if you can, somehow hold a space for that to grow, while at the same time not cutting out any opportunities or experiences that you want to have, either in this connection, in this life, or even with another romantic partner. Because, there's so many different choices that can go off, and it's just what feels right for you is super important. So let's just see. Also, I'm definitely seeing like a really quite strong Aries, Scorpionic Mars energy from this person. So there's definitely a lot of there's a real sexual attraction that they feel towards you. And it's almost like, they just can't really get enough, and they just can't really stay away. And I do feel like in sometimes that can really frustrate this person for sure. Because it's kind of like sexual frustration, but it's also more than that, because it's like a deep soul frustration of not understanding how to make this work in the 3D reality the way that they would also like. That's kind of like what I'm really getting. Oh, wow. Look at that. 2 flying out. Ace of Pentacles and the Lovers. Okay, so this is a really great omen. And can I just say, 4 major arcana. So this is, like I say, this is a real big awakening for this person on a spiritual level. And I think for both of you, it is a really big relationship. And I do think you need to be aware that this is something which is also designed to make both of you grow so much. And you know what? I think they're really starting to become aware of this connection and what it really means on a deeper level. I think they're starting to feel like the more that they're looking at things on that subconscious, unconscious and conscious level to do with themselves in relationships with feminine energy, with you, etc., it's really starting to, and I'm getting the words, really start to reprogram them on a cellular level to do with how they do connection and like the giving and receiving of love, and how they do this in a healthy, balanced way. And I can also see that there's something about this that is like perfect timing. I feel like for some of you, this might have been a bit of a long journey with this person. And for some of you, maybe there hasn't been... Okay, there's 2 groups of people. Either some of you, this has been quite a long-standing connection of maybe on, off, or you've not heard from them a while or something like that. And I think what my guides are telling me is that whatever is going on right now for them is really triggering them to really look back on your relationship, look back on your connection, and look back on how they feel about you, because it's almost like the universe has been pushing them to do this. I feel like they've been getting synchronicities or something which has made them had to look back into your connection and how they feel about you. And I do think some of them have been trying to resist this for sure in the past, but I feel like now they're no longer able to. And going forward, because for some reason this feels very much like a future energy, going forward, I really kind of see that they are, whatever you feel about them on that deeper soul level is also what they're going to be feeling about you on the deeper soul level in the future. So obviously that's different for all of you, but just take that how it resonates to you, because that's something really important. But once again, you know, I think it is, what my guides are also saying is try not to get too much attachment to this person in any way, because I know sometimes when you can hear things might be moving in a certain direction, sometimes if there is a desire to really want to connect with that person in some kind of way, I suppose what I'm trying to say to you is simple. Be careful not to get anxious attachment to do with this connection. Okay, and I'm going to leave a link of a book that's really, really good, because my guides are saying categorically, understand your I think there's like 4 different types of attachment that you get. One of them is balanced and the other 3 are not so balanced. And if you can understand what yours is, I think that's really, really going to help you to do with the relationship and the connection. And in some way that's going to, on a deeper level, be helping them feel into you and see you differently, and actually see you as also more mature on a feminine energy level. And that's going to be something that's going to be very appealing and attractive to them. But also just for you, I think this will just be really, really healthy and helpful. And I am just getting that maybe quite a few of you have a bit more of this sort of anxious attachment, but then you want to find out a little bit more about how you do that. So definitely check in and have a look at that book. I feel that'll be super, super useful. Cool. Now I'm actually going to pull some, don't know, let's see. Let's go for some of these cards. I do also feel as well, as much as, because you're kind of reflecting each other in equal and opposite ways, I kind of really feel that there's a new opportunity coming to do for you. Sorry, this is just a psychic thing that I just have to say. Nothing to do with how they feel about you, but it is interrelated. There is something about a new physical opportunity coming into your physical reality as well. It's either starting to already, or it will do in the near future. And it's very much to do with something kind of masculine energy level. Okay, so like I say, things to do with accountability, responsibility, inner authority, money, career, life purpose, something like that, right, is coming in to do with you. And I think that it's about you also being able to be open and work with this and bring it into your reality more, because you guys are kind of like doing equal and opposite. They're doing this to do with feminine energy, which is relationship, which is feelings, which is why you're very much on their mind at the moment to do with how they feel about you. For you, the universe is trying to also give you the same, but the opposite, which is something new, some new insight, some new awareness, or some new opportunity to do with the masculine energy things in your life. That's not relationship though. That is to do with other things, like I say, like career, like money, something like that, like your own authority of something. And interestingly, this is also to do with you're going to get the exact same mirroring. So this is also going to be throwing up things to do with you, to do with your primary caregiver that was most masculine in whatever way that might be. It might not necessarily be your father or the male figure. It just depends how it was working. But for some reason, something about childhood, about how you see your own worth, okay, is related into this opportunity that's coming up and how you go about it. So that's really quite cool. I like that. And let's just see. I am definitely getting these words. I just can't stop thinking about you. I cannot stop thinking about you. Every time I try to do something different to distract myself, like you come back into my mind, like even stronger. I almost feel like you're haunting me, or you've put a spell on me, but I'm also becoming really aware that actually this is just something so much deeper within me. And I know it is making me feel something similar to that I've experienced before in the past. And I really need to look at this. And I am really getting that they do they care about you so much. They care about you so much, and they want to almost be able to protect you, provide for you in some way. They want to be there to be able to counsel you when you feel confused and you don't know what decisions to make. They just want you to be your best. And some of these as well, they almost have that thing of like, it's almost like you feel they feel like you're too good for them, even though it's bizarre because a lot of them have got a really strong ego within themselves anyway, but there's something about you that literally just brings them to their knees. And so I'm also really getting the more that you step into that real strong feminine energy, let's take all of them. The more you step into that real strong feminine within you, the better this is going to be. I don't feel like reading these upside down for some reason. So let's just see what we get here. Okay, so instantly what I can tell you is lots of movement. Okay, it's so interesting, 4th house. Okay, 4th house in astrology, this to me always rules the house of family, early childhood, stuff like that. So like I say, this is definitely something that's coming up for them, and it's really making them look at things deeper. I am getting though that with the trine and the semi-sextile energy for the astrology, this means there's lots of easy movement and flow. And like I say, this really is, the universe has absolutely bringing in sort of lots of synchronicities or something like this to really kind of like be like, you can't shut this person out. You can't not feel into this connection. You can't not feel about this person because there's an incredible like wish come true within this individual, and i.e. that's you that I'm talking about here. And it's something also really important for this person's soul's growth. Okay, it's almost like you're a key holder to something that's super powerful within them, and because of that they will constantly keep getting drawn to you in some way until they basically resolve whatever that key is that you're unlocking within them. Once they resolve that thing that's locking within them, then there'll be a position or an opportunity for things to move forward for you guys in like a 3D, very human, physical reality way. But I'm definitely also getting, look, the seeking. This reminds me as well, like what I was saying to you in the beginning, about they're really starting to feel into you in this connection on like a subconscious, unconscious, and conscious level. They're really traveling into the unknown with how they feel about you compared to anybody else. Like I say, you've really stimulated something within them that they haven't ever experienced before. And I do think it has felt very overwhelming in the past, and they've almost wanted to try and control it. So stop themselves thinking about you or feeling about the connection, or just ignoring it, or distracting themselves with something else, someone else, whatever it might be. But it's really got to this point where, you know, it's almost like the energy, they put so much resistance in the past into holding back on looking at how they feel to do with you, that the universe has just come in and just been like, boom. No, you've got to, you have to pay attention to this. Pay attention to this, because it's not going away, but it holds something incredible for you. And it's almost like on the deeper level within them, they're starting to acknowledge the fact that even in the past, they had this feeling that this was a special connection, but they didn't really allow themselves to go there. So they'd knock it out of their head, or they'd distract themselves with something else, whatever it might be. But ultimately that echo of this relationship being incredibly powerful and potent and important for their growth just keeps bringing you back into how, you know, their conscious feelings for you. And it's just making them feel, like I say, the universe is just massively supporting them at this point now to help them get to a place where they can move forward with how they feel to do with you and where that is going. Just see, do I feel like I want to say anything else? No, I feel like that's the best thing. That's the best thing for you guys to know about where your person is currently at right now, to do with how they're feeling about you. And like I say, the compassion, I really feel like the compassion, if you can have that for this person and also for yourself. And also this, I'm sort of getting like no judgment with what's going on, even to do with you. Nothing you decide is right or wrong. Nothing they decide is right or wrong. Like there is, you know, it's just a complete... This is like very Sagittarius energy here, 9th house. It's a complete kind of like exploration of the human soul is how they're feeling about you. So that's very, very deep. But I do feel like on the whole, because we're ending in this, it feels like it's going to a very positive place for both of you. And because obviously we have this trine and this semi-sextile allowing, that feels really good too. But definitely have some compassion for this person, and also for yourself in this dynamic. And like I say, there is this opportunity for you as well to do with work and stuff like that, so stay into that. Now what I'm going to do is I just want to pull a goddess card and I'll read it out for the book, just for additional guidance for you guys to do with all of this. So one sec. Okay, so let's just see what wants to come out. Just while I'm doing this, I'm just going to get the little things that come through. Like, they really like your smile. And there's something about you that they actually do find you super feminine. Or that basically you have this like real beauty to do with you in some way. I'm getting that they've missed you, or they've missed something in this connection. So if you are still sort of together and in contact, there's something that you had in the past which they feel like they lost a little bit as they started to get a bit weighed down by childhood type of things coming up in their life, past programming coming up in their life, and they just want to go back to that other place again, and they just want to start afresh, but they do want to start in this very kind of like, this is the thing, they want to be way more than a king for you. They want to be your emperor. Okay, nothing's come out, so let's pull one. So, advice for you guys, what are we getting? Oh, nice. Laughter. You see, that's what I was just saying as well about, there's something about from before with you guys that they just wish that they could bring back in. Like, it feels like at some point it was a lot lighter, and then it did get heavier, but now it's getting lighter between all of you guys again. So, let's just see what's going on here. Also, you know what, the more softer you guys feel, the more you're enjoying your own life, the more of a goddess energy that you step into within yourselves, the more that this person will be drawn to you naturally. And you don't actually have to do anything. You definitely don't have to be the overthinking one or anything like that. Just make yourself like some kind of like incredible flower, so that he's like a bee and he just wants to get drawn to you. And then be soft with him when he does get drawn to you. And 1 second. Can never find these things in this book. Also, I'm really getting there's a real balancing of solar plexus and heart chakra energy, and I also think that's like very, very super creative energy. So I think if you guys can focus on things that you want to create in your life, things that you enjoy doing, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel energized, I feel like that's really important too as well. Oh my goodness. Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to turn this up and come back. 1 second when I find. Cool. So it says here, meaning of the card. So I can't say this one's name. Uzum, I'm not so sure. Begins her cosmic dance in your life to tell you it is time to nurture wholeness with laughter. Laughter causes us to relax, enables us to gain perspective, helps ease us through difficulties. Have you been taking life too seriously? When is the last time you had a good laugh? Are you able to laugh at yourself in a gentle way? Perhaps life is challenging with you with such ferocity that you find it hard to see the humour in your present situation. This goddess says that wholeness is gained when you choose to laugh and see the humour in all of life's challenges. And that is definitely an invitation. It's the universe saying to you, enjoy yourself and have fun. And don't get bogged down too much if you feel like a lot of heavy energy sometimes coming from this person towards you. Just don't take it on board, because that's not for you to take on board unless you want to. And just really focus on raising your vibration and feeling good about what you do have in your life and what you are. And you'll find this person will really be drawn to that. So I'll leave the link below so you can look at the highest potential of the Cancer archetype, because I think you'll find that really useful to do with like holding space and having good emotional boundaries. So I'll leave that link there. I also have Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow me on that, because I post lots of psychic stuff. And if you would like a reading from me, you can message me on this email address. But other than that, I hope you enjoy this reading, and I'll see you soon. Bye. So hi guys, this is for everybody that chose pile number 2. So let's see, let me just feel into, how is this person feeling about you right now? Okay, the first thing I'm feeling is they're starting to feel, or they're feeling even more like they really want to be building something with you. and they're really wanting to kind of build on something within this connection. It's like I can kind of get this vision of somebody sort of like looking at a mountain, but they're also holding a map in front of them. So there's kind of like the map is in front of them that they're holding, and then in the distance is kind of like a mountain, and they're kind of like very practically looking at what's the next step. And I'm really starting to feel like this is kind of how your person is feeling to do with you and to do with the connection. They're kind of feeling like, okay, cool, what's the next step? Because I want this and I want more of this. I feel like they're aware that in the past they haven't always been maybe treating you in a way that has been a true reflection of how they have really felt about you. And I kind of feel like this slightly weighs on their mind. It's not like a huge burden, because I really don't feel like this person I really feel like this person sees a lot of potential within you and within the connection. And I feel like any sort of things that have happened in the past where they kind of maybe regret something they've said or something that they've done, I feel like they've got to the point where they've really got over kind of like punishing themselves to do with that. And I really feel like any kind of like self-sabotaging behaviours that they might have just in general to do with intimate connections, I really feel like they have made epic leaps and bounds to do with that. And so, you know, all of you are going to be different, but I'm just really trying to just give you the essence of how this person is feeling about you, like the flavour. And sort of the other thing that I'm really getting is that they kind of feel like they could kind of like go on adventures with you. Like life could be something that they're starting to feel like you enhance their life, basically. So whether you've been in separation or you are actually together, this person is really seeing that you add so much value to their life in maybe a way that they haven't always recognized before. But I also really get the feeling that because of this mountain and this map, like there's very much like a purpose to do with your connection. And I actually feel like regardless of whether this person is male or female, they actually feel like they're sitting in a more masculine energy than you currently. And because of that, I kind of get this feeling of like they're wanting to kind of take the lead with you with something. But at the same point, they're still slightly hesitant about how to do that. So they're kind of like in this planning kind of stage. And they, how are they feeling about you right now? You know, on the deep soul level, I can really feel that this person understands that you have experienced different lives together and that you have grown and developed as individuals over that time period. And now in this lifetime, it's very much like you can create something together. I am also going to be really real with you. Like for like some of you, I feel like this is create like an actual, you know, life partnership with each other in a romantic setting. And for others of you, I kind of feel like it's about something that you could create together. And do you know what's coming into my mind? The Rock. I friggin' love The Rock. I just get such a kind, compassionate but strong vibe from him. And I know that him and his ex-wife still have a business together, and it's a really successful business, and they find that they can collaborate so much better as business partners than they did as marriage partners. And I know that he has a wife that he really, really loves, and I think she probably has a partner as well. But, you know, like I'm also getting that sort of vibe. So like at some point in the future, I feel like for some of the people in this group, that's the kind of dynamic that you could have, where you really can develop and grow something together beyond what is actually a romantic setting. And so that's sort of the other sort of thing that I'm starting to feel, that they are starting to feel, to do with you and your connection. And like I say, it's a mixture. And you know what I'm also getting is I kind of get as well, there's a third pile where this person doesn't know which setting you're in. Do we actually have a romantic relationship long term, or do we actually build something different together? Like I think one group is kind of like flicking in and out. They don't quite know yet. Whereas in another group, one part of it, you guys, your people really think, no, this is a romantic setting, a romantic relationship, and another part of this group really thinks, no, we create something together that is outside of a romantic setting. So you kind of feel into where you think you sit within that, or where your person fits with you within that. Okay, it's interesting. I also feel like pile 3 also had this, because really weirdly, I did pile 2 and 3 back to front. It's just kind of like the way that it came out. So I don't know if there's going to be some similarities or something between these 2 piles. But what I did feel in the other pile, and I really feel it with this stone as well, is like your person, the way they're feeling about you is it's growing. Because I kind of like see like it's, you know, on the spiral of like karma in your life and your events and your soul's growth, I see them kind of going up a spiral to do with you and to do with the connection. In pile 3, I felt like it was more like they were going to be changing. So like I felt like the movement for pile 3 was that, like a wheel, but the movement for the people about how they feel about you in this pile is more like a spiral, and it's a spiral going upwards. I know that's friggin' abstract, but just that's what I'm getting. Cool, let's get some cards, see what's going on. So for some reason, I don't always do this, but I just kind of felt like it because it happened in pile 1. I'm just going to let the cards flick out and they'll just talk to us because, you know, I love mixing it up. Why not? So let's just see, how does this person feel about you right now? I have to admit, definitely with this pile, I am definitely getting that this isn't just like this isn't a recent connection. So if this is a recent connection, absolutely you guys have got soul history with each other for sure. Because on an energy psychic level, like this feels like, I'm getting these words, it feels like a fine wine kind of thing. As in like it's developed and it's grown over time, and it's grown over a very long time. So how is this person feeling about you? I'm getting a vision of like you two kind of cuddling up on the sofa and like either watching something, or like on a Netflix, or like watching something on YouTube. I kind of feel like they really feel that you feel so familiar, and you feel so... They feel like ultimately they can actually be their true selves with you, and they really feel like you can be your true selves with them. But I also feel like they sometimes feel that they feel completely comfortable to be able to just like call you out if you're also not being authentic in some way. And I think something for you guys to realise is that don't take any kind of offence when that's happening, because actually on that deeper connection and that soul level, this is done out of love. Whoa, that is way too many cards. Let me just have a very quick look. That's way too many cards. Okay, lots going. I just feel like, you know what, this is your soul's history, right? I just feel like so many things have happened. So many things have happened. You've been through different soul contracts together. You've started new belief systems together. You've had new love. You've had new thoughts. You've just consistently got to know each other over generations of souls. I think you've had to both work on your feminine energy, definitely, so how you receive and how you give love, but you've definitely had some kind of like, you've both gone to a new level, like, you know, that spiral. I really feel like the people in this pile, both the person you're thinking of and you, have gone to a new understanding and awareness about how you create your own reality and how you go about that, for sure. But also I'm really getting that you've really, really worked on the feminine energy within your lineage, so within your family history, but also to do with within yourself as well. So to do with connecting, intuition, psychic abilities, receiving. One thing I'm really getting, that was just a brief thing though, because we'll go into more, it's too many cards, but I mean, sometimes they just want to talk, so we go with it. Well, here we go, yeah, this is this thing, 8 of Pentacles. Definitely this connection, how they feel about you, this is something that has been worked on over a long period of time. And like I say, if this is a recent connection, you have serious amounts of soul history with this person. And even if this is a long-term on and off thing, or you've known each other for a very long time, or you have been together for a very long time, whatever this might be, you have known each other for lifetimes and lifetimes, and you've been refining and refining and refining. And I think as well, what I really feel is that they are they're totally happy to work with you in this way. You know, they want to work on their relationship with you and their connection with you, and they want to kind of keep understanding their feelings, which is really, really nice. Sorry, the lights are pretty bright. Don't know what I was doing. Oh well. I mean, I love reading everything in a spread, so this is it. I just think they see you as like a super shiny, bright light. You're like a bright star. You're their North Star in some aspects. They really see you as somebody that can like not only achieve a lot in this lifetime, but you can also support them. This is it, support them to achieve a lot in this lifetime. And I think that's something that it will always keep them coming back to you in whatever dynamic that might be. And like I say, there was those 3 piles, right, of how this might develop. But I kind of feel like you will always be in each other's life in this lifetime, in whatever way that might be. And you might even sometimes go for long periods of time without really have any connection on the physical realm, but energetically it will be there and you'll really, really feel it. Why do these cards not want to pop out? Maybe it was all the ones that came out before. Oh, cool. Here we go. So we have the Fool. I friggin' love the Fool. And we have the 4 of Wands. For some reason, I don't feel like any of these cards should be read reversed, because I just don't get anything other than just like a real, just a really, like a sunshine vibe, to be honest. And actually looking at these cards, they're very, very yellow. So, you know, I also feel like this person feels that you are somebody that is really good at kind of like owning their own power, working with their own power, and also not taking power away from other people. So I kind of feel like they, on a soul level, feel that your solar plexus is really well balanced. 9 of Wands. But you know what, obviously there is still a little bit of hesitance to fully opening up to you in some way. Despite them knowing all of this, and despite them really feeling this, not just on a soul level, but on a human level as well, there is still a little bit of caution. My guides are absolutely saying that this is nothing more than a hesitation for them to be actually creating something that they've really wanted for a long time in their life. And in some way this involves you. And actually the hesitation they feel actually isn't anything to do with you. It's actually to do with the bigger picture of what this goal means to them. So please take that how it resonates, because it will be different for each of you. And I do feel like you will, if you have known them for a while, you will know what this goal is. Because also you guys really remind me of, I did a post on Instagram. Whoa, that's way too many cards. I did a post on Instagram about the 8th chakra, and actually in the 8th chakra, I'm just really aware that when you're in really deep soul connections, you intuitively both have access to each other's Akashic records without even realising. And this is why you can be very psychic to do with each other. Like, you probably know how they're feeling and they know how you're feeling. And this is the important bit, right? To do with like literally all of these cards here. Particularly this is what I'm looking at here. They really, really understand things about your soul purpose, your soul direction, like where to go. And you know what you do to do with them. So, you know, sometimes you might know they're doing something and you think, oh man, no, that's not really the way they need to go. It's more like this other way. They'll have that same feeling for you. And it's something for you to be aware of, so that essentially you can break limiting paradigms within your own reality and within their own reality if they choose to also hear what you're saying. So just know that there's that really kind of like cool psychic connection between the two of you. And to start working with that in more of a conscious way, I feel, would be something that's really important. And you know what, I do think that they are aware that sometimes when you tell them stuff, they probably think, oh my God, how do they know that? Or oh fuck, I totally feel that too. So, you know, just honour that, and maybe, I don't know, like enjoy the fact that you have somebody, you know, somebody where you have this kind of connection with. This is one thing as well I'm also getting here with this card here. You know, that kind of like hesitation. I do think there's a hesitation to be going into a new paradigm, both in your connection and also within this person's own life, to do with their own life purpose, their own, and when I say life purpose, like the thing that they really want to do that makes them feel great, that gives them emotional fulfillment, that literally lights them up. You know, they're having a little bit of hesitation about moving forward with that. So if you guys are in connection, in communication, which I do feel like for a lot of you, you are, obviously not for all of you, but for a lot of you I do feel that you are, then you know what, support them with that. Encourage them, you know. Let's just have one more. Well, how does this person feel about you right now? Wow. Devil cards. So I don't feel like any should have been reversed. I just want to get one more to do with this Devil card. When I see the Devil sometimes, and it's the feeling, right, this doesn't actually feel, it doesn't feel like something heavy, because they don't feel heavy. In which case, then sometimes I think the Devil is more like Pan. So, you know, like Pan is something like, I don't know, the god of kind of, I think like enjoyment and like, almost like luxury and ecstasy and that kind of thing. But I just want to have a card just to confirm what that is, about how they're feeling about you, because obviously I do know there's just this little something of hesitation to do with how they're feeling about you. And I, you know, obviously I don't really think they've expressed this to you, for sure they haven't, but I do think this is partly something that they're probably working on and trying to get the confidence to do it. But the confidence is more to do with them just trusting life, the universe, your connection, how they feel about you. So they're definitely working on trust, and trust that allows them to open up. And so this is something that they constantly think and feel about you, which is that they just want to open up even more to you, but they're just slightly nervous in doing it, which obviously is totally understandable, particularly in these really deep soul connections, because they are so well, let's be honest, they're full on. They hit every part of your being, and they ricocheted every area of your life. And it can also be a constant growth thing, you know, constant awarenesses and insights, and then rechanging of a behaviour pattern within you, or how you interact with them. And just know that they are also on this path as well. I'm going to take these two, they flew out. Wow, okay. Also, can I just say there's so much energy as well going off in how this person feels about you, just because the cards keep flying out. It's quite chaotic. You've also had a couple more cards on the other piles. So I just feel that this also shows that your person is really feeling very focused on you at the moment, whether you're aware of it or not. And I think it's because they're so close. They're so close to like taking this leap of faith with something to do with you and how they feel. And I do feel it's about, I feel this is definitely about communicating how they feel, but part of me feels this is something about an opportunity that they want to offer you, but they feel still a little bit of hesitation of offering it you. Also, Pile 1 also had this card here, so I know some people see this as the 1111 card, so for sure this is like a real deep soul connection. But this connection and how they feel about you is that this connection has a real purpose as well. Like, you guys come together to create something. And I mean, look, I just really feel that as well. You've got the Magician card here, and you know, to confirm the Devil, obviously we had the Magician and the Two of Cups. So I really just feel like this is more of this thing where, weirdly, this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that they are feeling about you that, wait just a minute, it's just coming in, 1 sec. Okay, so they're just releasing some kind of like resistance to do with being able to accept you into their reality in this new way, in whatever new way this is, with this new opportunity that they want to, bring into your reality. But they, like I say, there's still a little bit of hesitation. But, they are absolutely in the process of releasing anything that's kind of been constricting them or kind of like stealing their energy. Anything that has been stealing their energy, or they have allowed their energy to get drained by something, they're working at releasing that. And they are absolutely going to be coming forward to you with an offer. I mean, I just feel like, boom, they're absolutely coming forward with you with an offer. And obviously what this offer is going to be different for all of you. Like I say, there is this 3 pile. 1, it's a love offer. 2, it's a love offer and creating something very specific together. 3, it's coming together to create something very specific together. So there is those like 3 pathways, and only you guys will know which one you more resonate with. Also know, because this is in this moment now, obviously energy is, it's friggin' fast moving, despite the fact of whatever astrology might be currently going on right now, because this is an any of the moment reading, just whenever you get pulled to, hear this message. Also, I've never really thought about this before, but the devil here has got wings, and I really feel like this is this thing. It just makes me think that like this person is lifting off and rising above the things that have held them restricted in how they want to move this relationship, this connection forward. Whenever I see as well the 2 of Cups, for me, I often think this has an energy of, it's a very kind of like a very tangible, in 3D reality connection. Because sometimes when I see the Lovers, I often think the Lovers, and you've got the angel there and everything, that can very much be like, we're together in that 5D place. So like our souls are in a connection right now. But I really just feel like this is something very, very tangible that's going to be coming into your physical reality for sure. And to do with timelines, obviously I can feel that's going to be radically different for all of you. I just feel this quite strongly, because I feel there's quite a lot of you here that are in very different places and very different dynamics. However, this is the overall vibe that's still hitting all of you. So that's what I'm feeling there. Now, let me just get a couple more. What I find interesting as well about this person is just with the way the cards are coming out, and I can just really feel this energy, is it's kind of like they hold, and then burst full out with like maybe suddenly out of nowhere you get a whole load of communication, and then you maybe get dry patches for ages, or suddenly you get this huge amount of romance and real connection, and then you get a dry patch for ages. I kind of feel like it's got that kind of feel to it, but I actually don't feel like this person ever fully pulls away from you. Like they just don't. Like you're always there at the back of their mind, like, because for some reason, I think it's because this connection has a real purpose, like I say, and a purpose beyond just the 2 of you. And this just keeps pulling this person back. But it's like suddenly the cards won't pop out for ages, and then all of a sudden we get loads, and I kind of feel like that's how they are. But I think they're kind of working on that as well. But it's a process for sure. Definitely a process. I think it's so nice as well. Like you have the 4 of Wands right in the middle. And you know what? This person here, he's totally looking at the 4 of Wands. And he's totally looking away from the devil as well. And this is why as well I really just get that feeling that things are going to be moving into that direction of them coming towards you with an offer. And like I say, I very much feel, if I feel like they are in their more masculine energy right now, and you are in your more feminine. And that's exactly the way the energy dynamic will be for this opportunity and this offer to come in. So just consider that. I feel as well like, first house, the self. Okay, so I can also feel like this person is feeling about you that, like I say, this is this new opportunity. Like, look, there's literally a door. welcome and walking into like this whole kind of adventure. And that kind of reminds me of that beginning vision that I had of like the map with the mountain in the far off distance. Like they're really, really wanting to start something new with you. But I don't feel like this is like brand new. This is something which has been built off something from before. And like I say, if this is a new connection, it's been built off a past life. If this is a more older connection, this is something that has been brought up before for sure. And I do actually feel like they do have a lot of energy and drive towards creating this. And you know what? They're prepared to stick with this. Whatever this is, I feel like this person has resilience. And they have resilience to do with your connection and themselves within this connection. Oh wow, 12th house, surrender. So interesting, because surrender, that totally reminds me of the Fool energy as well. So this just also tells me that when it comes to you, they're really trusting as well, like divine connection, like they're following the omens, they're really listening to their intuition. And I really think they're starting to become aware they're more psychic and intuitive than what they thought they were, particularly to do with you and the connection. And I really don't feel like there's a lot of heavy energy around this connection at all. I feel like it is really almost like, you know, sometimes connections can have like quite a big, intense, heavy feel to them. But I do definitely feel like, particularly with these two cherub type energies here, and the Fool and the Magician, Two of the Cups, it just kind of feels like whatever has been difficult in the past is really, really being left behind. I just want one more card, please. I feel as well like with the first house and the 12th house, it's kind of like something's come full circle as well, which then also leads into the Fool nicely too. Oh, no way. North Node, destiny. You see, this is what I mean. This person really feels that you have, like, you're their North Star, you know, their shiny North Star, which is, I think, like your North Node. It's like the Pinocchio star. You know, you're a wish come true in some area, but more than that, you do have a destiny, you do have a purpose together. And look at that. It's even like, I don't know if you can see this, but it's even like a mountain made out of a map. And that just reminds me of that vision that I had earlier on to do with you guys. They're so aware that this is a very kind of like fated relationship. And that, like I say, you absolutely have a lot to build together. This is really cool. I really, really like this for you guys. And you know what? I don't know when you're going to watch this video because it's all going to be at different times, but I'm really getting that this person feels like things are changing in our reality. Like things are completely changing in our reality. And they really feel like you are the person to partner up with, particularly when humanity goes through such a big shift and a change. I think they realise, and I'm kind of getting tingles coming out of my heart and going down my hands. This person really, really realises that no matter what happens in the future in your external reality, you are a person that can bring stability, consistency, and you can bring flow into their life and into your own. And that this connection is really important because it's going to do something which helps other people as well. And for some of you that will be in a smaller environment, and for others of you that will be in a much more bigger global environment. But this person really, really, really feels this. And you know what? I really, really feel this too. We've even got the explosion going off in the middle here. So it's almost like they've had a real awakening to this recently, even though I feel like they've known it for a long time, to be honest with you. But I think they have never been able to quite face up to it because they have had to work through stuff. They definitely have to work through stuff for sure. And I do feel like it's been a journey for them, but I really do feel like now they are totally getting to this place of feeling confident within themselves to actually experience what it is that they want, and they do want you. But at the same time, it's kind of like they're also like are surrendering to a more divine plan, But this divine plan is confirming what it is that they really want, which is there's something to do with this connection and with you that's really like powerful and important. I totally love this. It's so cool. It's really cool. Right, now let me just pull a goddess card and I'm going to read it out of the book. And this is basically what the universe wants to tell you to do with this connection. So let's see what you get. Whoa, it nearly came out straight away then. I'm just going to pull this out myself. So let's just see. What does the universe most want you to know right now to do with this connection? This one. Oh, wow. This is a powerful image. Check that out. So it says opening. Okay, I'm going to read this. 1 second, let me just find it in the book. I really love these cards because, to be fair, I don't really know that many goddesses, to be fair. I'm really bad with names. Names just don't really mean anything to me. But this is just a powerful image. It's a super powerful image. Let's see. Okay, so it says here, this goddess grins at you proactively and invites you to join her in opening. Now is the time to open to new experiences, people, places and things. Now is the time to begin new projects, forge new directions, venture out boldly. The universe invites you to come out and play. Perhaps you've had to contract your energy to deal with a wounding, a grieving, an ending, or you haven't felt it was safe to open up. You may have needed a time of seclusion, sorting out and focusing inward. This goddess is here to remind you that a period of contraction is followed by expansion and opening. It is time to nurture wholeness by integrating what the stretching, expanding and opening will be. I mean, that's really interesting because I think as well I said earlier on about this thing about trusting and opening. This is how they're starting to feel to do with you. And also obviously new beginnings, like we mentioned here, going full circle with something, the integration of stuff. But obviously just having these last few little bits to just be worked on with how they're feeling to do with you. So the other thing that I do just want to say is, so often when I read for people, and this won't be once again for every single body watching this video, but I do feel it is for a big percentage of you, that you also are feeling this about them, okay? And so I think as well, it really is about you as well, being open and trusting whatever it is, that the thing that they want to come in and give you as an opportunity. I really feel like the cards here, but obviously still you need to just, this is only relevant for you if you feel it, right? But I feel that if you feel this, right, I do feel that the cards are really encouraging you to trust and be open to whatever this person ultimately wants to come in and offer you, because there's kind of like a higher purpose at play here. There's definitely a higher purpose at play here. But I want you to know that whatever this is something that both of your souls have decided pre-birth. So it's not like it's like completely surrendering to something which you don't know anything about. You have coalesced with the universe on this one. Like you've both agreed that this is something that you both want to happen. And it's getting to that point where I'm getting that it's like D-Day is coming for you guys. Like the decision on really, are you going to go with this or are you not? And I think it's natural if you feel some hesitation as well. Because remember, I felt like this was a card of hesitation from them to do with coming towards you with this offer. And I do think, you know, so the more that you can work on trusting, maybe see if there's some guided meditations about trusting, about opening up, about just completely feeling that no matter what happens, you know, the universe is supportive of you and it will not let you fall and hurt yourself. You might fall, but you won't hurt yourself. because it could be some like crazy amazing skydive, but this is a metaphor, right? But like a crazy amazing skydive, so you free fall for a while, but then suddenly the parachute opens and then you see things in a completely different perspective as you're looking down onto Earth. And the universe is basically that parachute. It's like always there, so you can trust yourself to free fall into a new experience. I mean, I'm a massive fan of the Fool card. I friggin' love it. I just want to also say that to do with some astrology alignments or astrology within the chart, I kind of feel like I think it's really useful for you just to know where your North Node is in your own birth chart, and potentially where the North Node is in your other person's birth chart, because I feel there's something about this which is a shared destiny in some kind of way. I also think it's really useful for you to know what your life path number is and what this other person's life path number is, because that will also give you some suggestions. And I won't be at all surprised if a lot of you, not all of you, but if a lot of you share almost the exact same, I don't know, energy to do with the life path number or to do with the North Node. But I definitely think it's worth looking into that for sure. This is very exciting. It is really exciting. So yeah, totally and utterly enjoy that. Cool. So what was I going to say? Yes. So I have another YouTube channel called See It Like a Psychic. I post lots of different things on there, so you might find that really, really useful. Also, if you can watch me or follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I post lots of different Instagram posts there, just lots of different things to do with that, and current astrology, all of that kind of thing. And if you would like a personal reading from me, this is my email, so you can contact me on there. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and this is exciting. Whatever this is exciting. It's really, really exciting. And just one last thing, just be careful you don't self-sabotage in some way to do with this opportunity, connection, whatever. Don't psych yourself out of it. Like, just trust the entire process. Trust the entire process, because although it might feel a bit scary when this opportunity comes in, I do think it's going to be the start of something phenomenal. So, super cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hi guys, so this is for everybody that chose pile number 2, this stone. So let's see what channeled messages we get about how your person is feeling about you right now. I'm getting that this person is feeling I can just basically see somebody in bed at night and they've got their laptop up or whatever, and they're just sort of like looking at stuff either specifically to do with you, like, you know, your social media, your whatever, or stuff that in some way is related to you. So I don't know if you do a certain profession, if you're into a certain hobby, you know, they're sort of like for some reason pulled to look at those kind of things that are connected to you. And for some reason I just see them doing this sort of like late on at night, just before they go to bed. And then, to be honest, this is their soul unconsciously getting them to start processing stuff on an unconscious level when they're sleeping. Because they're looking at these things related to you and they're thinking about you just before they go to bed at night, it does literally mean that their unconscious mind is then either giving them dreams, whether they remember them or not, but giving them dreams that are helping to process how they're feeling about you and how they're feeling about this connection. So this person is kind of feeling, this person is going through, they rapidly go from feeling one way to do with you to feel another way to do with you. They go from one extreme, from feeling like really, you know, a huge amount of intense feelings of desire of wanting to connect and create more with you, to then flicking onto another side of just almost feeling like, no, I can't handle this, no, this is too much, no, I'm overwhelmed by it, and frustration and anger. And essentially they're going through a whole range of emotions and feelings to do with you and to do with the connection. And it's partly because they are doing this thing of looking at things to do with you just before they go to sleep at night. because like I say, this is massively then triggering their unconscious mind to be working with this in their dream time, and then they wake up in the morning and for some reason it's like, even if they can't remember their dreams, like you're back in their head again, or something to do with you rapidly come back into their mind again. So I suppose essentially the way this person is feeling about you at the moment, and these are the words that I'm getting, is it's almost like totally consumed by you and how they feel to do with you and all of that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm just getting quite a few things, so just give me a moment here. Because this is the thing, this person is like, gosh, it's making like my traps feel really, really tight. As it also makes me think that maybe this person is definitely feeling quite stressed to do with you and to do with the connection. And sorry, just give me a second, because I'm also now seeing a vision of basically almost like a massive boulder on like somebody's shoulders, and they're trying to like go up a hill, and it's making me think of the book Atlas Shrugged. Just give me 1 second why that is, just give me a moment, because I literally can see the cover of the book. I feel like this person is really trying to achieve quite a lot in their life, and they have been for a while. Like they're very, very motivated, they're very, very driven, they're very career and job and money focused and orientated, and I feel like they associate a lot of their own personal value and worth on how they are doing, like financially and with their career or with their business or whatever. And I kind of feel like, because of how they feel to do with you, they remind me of somebody who's kind of like an athlete. This is the metaphor, right? They're kind of like an athlete that really, really pushes themselves to their goals and what they want to achieve, and they're very, very driven. The thing is, they can only really do that in one area of their life, and because of this huge amount of feelings that are inconsistent and sort of incoherent to do with you, it's kind of like it's kind of too much. They can't have this full-on focus to do with obviously what they want to do with their career and their work and all of this kind of thing, and their life purpose or whatever spectrum they're sitting on that, at the same time as have all of these kind of like strong feelings and desires and emotions to do with you. And that kind of combination of those two things is kind of like leading them to burnout. But it's so interesting, because then I see another vision, which is, I then sort of see this vision of like, a really relaxing beach and almost like shoals of fishes under the water and just complete peace and calm. And my guides are saying that ultimately that's where they're going to get to do with how they feel about you and the relationship and the connection, but it's got a bit of a journey to go. But my guides are also saying that also this is sort of like how they keep sort of slightly missing the full transformation and the full acceptance and acknowledgement of how they really feel about you, because they kind of like almost go to burnout, and then they suddenly manage to completely and utterly disengage, go into this peaceful moment of surrender, but it's not really to process anything or because they're actually got to a place of peace and surrender. It's because literally they're just kind of, it's a coping mechanism to make sure they never quite get this breakthrough that they need to do with how they feel to do with you. Woof. That's quite intense. Let's just see what comes out with the cards now. I'm really interested. And for some reason with this, I kind of feel like I don't know which way it should sit. Should it sit upright? Should it sit this way? So I kind of feel like they're at a choice point to do with how they're feeling with you. And what I mean by that is I feel like their feelings are still going to very much change from whatever we're discussing right now. So please also keep that in mind. I think that's really, really important to be just mindful of, to do with whatever comes out. So now let's have a look. So today I did this with the other pile. I just don't always do this, but I feel like they should just flick out pretty much in their own accord. So we'll see what we get, and then I can just feel into them a little bit more. Like, I feel like your person is quite hard on themselves. And I feel like sometimes they can be quite black and white and almost have like quite strong beliefs and like ways of seeing things. Okay, there we go, 8 of Swords. You see, that's that thing about being entrapped by they're being entrapped by their own thoughts and feelings to do with you, because like I say, they're not quite processing it, and they're sort of what's the word? Wait, I'm getting the word. It's not obsession, it's infatuation. It's almost like this infatuation that they've got to do with you at the moment is kind of like really I'm sorry if you can actually hear that buzzing sound. That's my computer. I think it's getting pretty hot. But actually that just makes me think about them. This is this overloading, this overworking, this overthinking that they're doing to do with you at the moment. Let's just see. But yeah, I do think they're quite hard on themselves, and I think they have quite black and white thinking about things. And I think the thing is, that's given them a lot of success in their past, or that's allowed them to achieve things they wanted to achieve in a masculine way. But when it comes to feminine energy stuff, so like relationships and connections, it just doesn't work like that. And I think this is partly why they're kind of struggling to essentially move forward in a connection with you. But you see, yeah, this is this thing about this lots of emotion, so much emotion coming up, and they are really focusing on it. And like I say, I feel like they're focusing on it at night, and they are going to get to this place of having a new perspective to do with you and their feelings for you and relationships and how they do relationships and connection and feminine energy on the whole. And this is what I mean about how they are in this choice point. It's soon going to turn from one way to the other, but literally as you are having this reading, they are processing all of this currently, and that's why it's at a choice point where it will soon change. Let's see what's here. Oh, nice. 4 of Wands. Oh, exactly. Change. What did I say about it's going to change soon? And then we get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, actually, let me just go with this, what we've got here so far. Okay, so I do think they find it quite hard to allow themselves to really acknowledge their feelings and how they feel about things in general. And I do think because they don't really acknowledge the feeling part of themselves so easily, it means they often overstimulate their mind and their thoughts and their thinking patterns and things like that. So that's kind of like, that's almost what's keeping them in this sort of trapped state of something. But what I think is really good is, and I see this is where the future is going, like I said, I could tell it was soon going to change for them. And this is obviously a great card. I love this card, the 4 of Wands. You know, obviously people often see this as 1111. They see this as like, and I don't really want to say, it can be anything, right? Soulmate, twin flame, but you know what, regardless of label, it really is just like a deep soul connection that inspires you both to grow so much and therefore create way more abundance in your life because of having interacted and been with each other and connected with each other. I really do feel as well with this pile, so I'm just going to be really honest with you, I feel like for half of you, this is going to develop into something which becomes way more of an intimate relationship, in a very physical way. But I feel like for the other half of you, this relationship is ultimately really going to be here to serve the growth of both of you, to get you to, like I say, this place of almost like achieving something that you would really like to achieve in your life and having a real celebration over it. And that's kind of like really specific, and it brings way more connection and community and friends and sort of that sort of energy into your life. That's what I can really, really feel here. I just want to see this change. Let's see. What's it changing? Where's it changing to? Where's this person changing? Whoa. God, everything's just so... This is what I mean. It's like quite explosive energy. I'm just going to turn that one and see what else we get. Okay, so it's looking like it's going to change... And this is this thing, you know, when I said this whole thing about not like obsession, but more like infatuation, you know, this person is going to get a different perspective on basically desire and like very much like sexual desire, kind of like, I don't know, almost like, this sounds weird, I don't quite mean it like this, but almost like the desire to own somebody in some kind of way, or to own something about somebody, or essentially to be drawn to somebody through a means that basically keeps them entrapped in some way, they're going to get a completely new perspective on this. And it actually also is going to be playing out with any kind of addictive type of behaviours that they have. And actually, my guides are saying it's not so much addictive behaviour, but it's coping strategies they have, for meaning that they stay in their mind and they don't allow themselves to feel things. So whatever is that coping mechanism that they have, that they're going to get a full-blown perspective on actually what it is that they are doing, almost to the extent of, this is what my guides are saying, it's like, and this is not what's going to happen, but just so you get the perspective, it's like somehow everything that I'm telling you now in this reading to do with them, somehow they're going to get this awareness and appreciation of themselves, and because of that it's going to give them a completely new perspective, and that's the thing that then starts changing everything. And then it goes from like this very, very heavy sort of energy, 8 of Swords, into this much more inspiring energy of the 3 of Wands. So I'm getting that, I don't know, I feel like some of these people are really literally going to be getting some kind of awareness on their behaviour through the internet, you know, like through something on YouTube, or they might read an ebook, or I don't know, even just something in like an article that they read about, that just sort of, because I can really see that their spirit guides, whether they're aware of them or not, it really doesn't matter, but their spirit guides are really going to be trying to bring them all the resources that they need so that they can get this new perspective on what is going on. And because then they get this new perspective on these deeper dynamics about what's going on with them. And I'm also really getting here, this is codependency. It definitely got something to do with codependency. And potentially, okay, because obviously if you are a reflection of them, I feel like you will also be working through some things to do with codependency. And I do have a blog post on Instagram and Facebook to do with this. It usually often links into inner child stuff, so stuff from childhood, but I'll leave the link and you can read into it and see what you find out of it. But yeah, they're definitely going to be getting all of these kind of awarenesses to do with things that have previously kept them entrapped. So that actually, like I say, they have this new perspective and way of looking at themselves, life, relationships, and how they feel about you. Woo, that is a really good thing to know, because in all honesty, I kind of feel like this person is sort of suffering by really just, you know, but by literally the addiction of sort of looking at things to do with you in the evening just before they go to bed at night. Like, I kind of feel like, oh, I wish I could just say to them, look, if you're going to do that, like, don't do it last thing at night, because it's just going to go all into your dream time, and you're going to wake up with it in the morning, and you're just going to keep this constant loop going on and on and on. And the thing is, I feel like a part of this is because they've never really understood, or they've never really had an example of like a healthy expression of love. I feel like however they've received love in the past, it's always come with some quite big attachments. And I'm getting the fact that they probably had partners before that have very much given them ultimatums at times, like, if you don't do this, I will do this. And it wouldn't surprise me if something to do with their childhood has also behaved in that way, and if even sometimes they can be a bit like that with ultimatums themselves. And I really feel like they are really suffering currently to do with almost like this tossing and turning in the head to do with how they're feeling about you. But actually on a deeper soul level, it's because this is really designed to help them release these things of, you know, the ways that they entrap themselves in certain ways, the ways that they kind of like don't allow themselves to receive healthy expressions of connection. And instead it's way more of like a bondage thing, and almost like connections that come with massive conditions. And I actually do really feel like you are somebody that can actually give them a connection where there are not those sort of conditions. I kind of also feel like you very much sit in the space of the Queen of Cups energy. So I feel like ultimately, with this person anyway, you ultimately in your heart have a very soft, open, nurturing space for them, and I feel like you're very, very accepting of them. I feel though that this is like, to be honest, a bit of a head fuck for them, because they've never really had somebody be so accepting of them and all the different things to do with them. And this is the thing that's like put them on a tailspin, and they don't know how to handle this or how to process this. But just know that it is going on. Now, this has just obviously been on the underside, King of Pentacles. This is it, they're very much working, and it's a bit like the other pile too, in pile 1. They're really working to step into a mature energy to do with you. it definitely feels like mature masculine energy, but, you know, take it whichever way it resonates. All it really is I would say they're really starting to own their own authority to do with their feelings, but it's a process, right? It's a process, and they're really, really working on this. Let's just see what other cards we get up from here. I'm really sorry, this sound is really annoying from my laptop, but it literally just feels like, because it didn't do this on the other pile, it literally just feels like this is, again, it's your person just sort of like going over and over and over and over and over and over to do with their feelings, to do with what they said to you, what you said to them, like what they did, what they didn't do. I feel like they're also kind of judging themselves really harshly for some things that they might have done or said to you in the past, and this is just keeping them in a tailspin. But I think it's such a positive sign that right in the middle here we've got the Hanged Man. So this new perspective is coming, because it kind of feels like, you know, like as well, like with the beach thing that I saw with like the fishes and stuff like that, they are making this way to a place of peace, but it's through basically accepting and acknowledging the feelings that they have within themselves first of all, and then the feelings that they have to do with you. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel they're going on with. But like I say, this real breakthrough is coming through. And you know what, they're gonna, when you reconnect with them again, because I'm getting the feeling that either you're not in contact, or if you are in contact, you'll know when they have worked through this within themselves, because they're literally going to feel a lot lighter. And I don't know, this playful, happy vibe is going to be coming out from them again. I'm not going to read these reversed, I don't feel like they will. So we have Neptune dreams. You see what did I tell you? This is this real thing. They're looking at things to do with you late at night, and it's making their mind go over and over and over again with you. And we have Chiron, healing. Okay, that makes total sense. And then we have 7th house, relating. So relationships, this is also a Libra energy. So I mean, to be fair, it's just everything we've literally said. You know, you're really on their mind a lot. You're coming into their dreams at night. But also, once again, the Chiron here, I think this is great. Chiron is this wounded healer. And this is, like I say, these unhealthy attachments and conditions and ways of experiencing love and connection in the past. This is all getting healed right now. And all because of how they feel about you. So clearly these feelings that they have for you, they're really touching like a very deep part within them. And this is stimulating all of this kind of growth to kind of like go off. And the thing is, I really do feel as well, like this here, the 7th house, you can see the two people, like their hands together. I kind of really feel like all of you are going to be different. So it's difficult for me to say this is absolutely going to happen in the future for all of you. But let me just give you the energy, and then it will play out in different ways for all of you. I really do feel that this person, with their tossing and turning, with all the processing that they're doing, they're going to come to this healthy realization, and they're going to heal this wounded part within them to do with relationships, which is super awesome. As a result of that, I really, really feel that they're going to be able to start doing connections in a completely new way. And therefore, I really do feel that, and this is an if comes in here, this is interesting, if you are also working on yourself, if you are also giving this person space to grow and integrate, and if you are also sort of looking, sorry about that, guys, my camera battery just cut out. But what I was actually just saying is, like, there's an if with all of this. And that is, if you're also working on yourself, if you're also growing, and if you're also kind of looking at your addictions or where you have codependency tendencies and you actually look to resolve those, then I actually really feel like you two are both going to meet in the middle and either going to be able to progress your relationship further, going to or if you're already together, if you're not together, but you'll reconnect again. And let's just say for some of you, if you're having to do this because it was like a future relationship you feel is coming, then these are the sort of processes that will happen, and in the end you will reconnect again, because I still really feel like there's more for you to be experiencing with each other in this lifetime after the integration of this kind of like codependency, addictive, kind of not acknowledging emotions and staying in your head. Kind of when that kind of energy kind of integrates itself and heals, there's still more for both of you to be doing together. And also that was right underneath each other. you know what, for some of you, this might even be like your life partners, in terms of the person that you both decide to commit to long term in this lifetime. Obviously this won't be for everybody, okay, and you'll have a feeling if this feels like you, but I also really feel like the codependency thing is so important for both of you to kind of like work through, and I do really feel that as well, in order for this person to be able to process this so that they can get out of their head and into their feelings to do with you, I think it's kind of like you need to try, if you can, and not think about them too much yourself either. It's almost like if you can just make some space within your connection on this kind of like energetic and mental, emotional level, then actually it's just this process will happen far, far quicker. And you know what, with my computer making this sound, I'm assuming that you can all hear it because I can really hear it. I also do feel like not only is it this person overthinking and feeling to do with you, but I feel like this could be quite a fast movement thing. Like I said, I feel like it's going to turn, it's going to change quite quick. And I'm getting this feeling that is also part of your ability to kind of like let go. Like if you can create that feeling of what I saw in the vision of like the beach and the fishes and like kind of that really relaxed kind of vibe, I kind of feel like it will stimulate this process to happen even quicker. However, I do want to point out, clearly you're absolutely not responsible for this person in any way, and also you don't want to ideally go too much into trying to sort things out for this other person, because that can lead into this codependency trap. So obviously take it in a way that kind of makes sense and resonates to you. And I don't know why, but my guides are really saying some of you guys will really benefit from kind of like almost like chilling out to sort of like I do this a lot, whale and dolphin music, or you might do some guided meditations to do with like the sea and the ocean, just ones that can really relax you. And actually one is coming into my mind that I friggin' love. They're on Meditainment, so I'll leave a link below to do with that, because I feel like that could be really, really powerful and useful too. Now, let me just see. I want to just now pull a goddess card for additional information, and I'll read it out of the book for basically what the universe wants to tell you to do with how to go forward with this connection. I want to just say what I do really like here is this guy is looking in this direction and this woman is looking in this direction, so it's kind of like they're both sort of looking at each other. And in astrology, earth and water are really harmonious and go together really well. So I do, once again, I feel like this really blends into this kind of like I don't know, there's something very, what is the word? Something very compatible about you both. And I get the feeling that this is something they're going to become aware of once they get out of this kind of like chaotic energy that are currently feeling to do with you, and they are going into that direction. See, I definitely just wanted to say that. Let's just see here. So what advice does the universe want to give you? I think I'll just pull this one. I'll do that one. Cool. So let's see. Order. Ooh, I really like this card. Okay, just bear with me just while I read it out of the book. You see, this also looks very peaceful. It looks very tranquil. It looks very relaxed. And I do think there's something important about that, because if you hold a more relaxed space, I really feel it will help everything. But it says here anyway, this goddess floats into your life to assist you in creating order. Is chaos constantly peering around the edges of your life, threatening to overwhelm you if you relax for an instant? Have you let things pile up and bury you? Do you find you are excellent at organising your boss, your family, your mate, but not yourself? Are you afraid of order, afraid that if you find a workable system for yourself, you will feel locked in, unable to flow? Or perhaps you've created order in your life, but in a way that is stifling, solid, heavy, engraved in stone. Now is time to nurture yourself with order that assists rather than chokes your life force. This goddess says that when life is ordered in the natural way, you nurture your path to wholeness without the forcible imposing something unnatural from without. You can create rebellion and resistance. So let me just say that bit again. When you forcibly impose something unnatural from without, you create rebellion and resistance. I actually feel like that's a really pertinent message, but it might be something that you just might want to just meditate on and think on. And I'm not going to say any more than that, actually, because I really generally feel like that's something that you absolutely can get the breakthrough within yourself. But I hope you found that useful. Like I say, I'll leave the link below to do with that guided meditation, because it just popped up into my head and it's such a great one for relaxing and kind of creating that space. And then I'll also leave a link to my other YouTube channel, See It Like a Psychic, because there's lots of other stuff on there. And I've also got I'll leave the post on my Instagram and my Facebook for you to look at the whole codependency thing. And if you'd like an email, you can email me on this number. But other than that, I hope you found that useful, and I will see you again soon. Oh, one more thing. Maybe there's something that you can also do with your dreams too. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like, maybe pay attention to your dream time as well, and just be really mindful if you are also thinking about this person last thing before you go to bed at night. It just feels like just try and find something else that you would do last thing before you sleep, because it's just going to help again create space and give this person the ability to get out of their head and into their feelings, which will really, really help in a way that they're consciously aware of. So cool, I'll see you soon. Bye.